Right, good afternoon everybody. Apologies for being late. I got done in one of the Olympic lanes rushing here, so good old Olympic lanes. Anyway, we're all here and here today to talk about and announce a couple of fights regarding George Groves, Billy Joe Saunders and Frank Buglioni. George, who's been out of action for a little while through injuries and unfortunately lost his opportunity of, I think, a title fight he could have won against Robert Stiglitz, is now going to be fighting next week in Vegas for a 10-round fight against Francisco Sierra. It's on the WBC Interim Welterweight Championship card featuring Robert Guerrero and Selçuk Aydin, and these fights will be broadcast by Box Nation. George hopefully comes through this fight okay, then we'll be back in London, and I don't want to tempt fate because things happen in fights, but I'm sure he's not feeling that way, nor is his manager and trainer Adam Booth. But then we'll be back in London for Friday the 14th of September, where George will be headlining a show at Wembley Arena, which for me will be a big show. We're going to look at a couple of options. It may be a rematch with Kenny Anderson, but we are looking at a couple of options, and we'll announce the fight after George comes back from the States, hopefully with a success and with no problems. On the card also will be Billy Joe Saunders. He'll be defending his Commonwealth title against opponents being named. As I said, Frank Buglioni will be on there, Bradley Skeet, Gary Kokora, Mitchell Smith and Eddie's Hassan. The reason I mention all these guys' names, all the ones who are not here, because this is a London card and I want to see big boxing back in town. It was a fabulous night we had on Saturday with David over there, and again, congratulations to him for a magnificent win. And it shows you that the fans in London come out for big shows, and we feel that there's a big audience there that's been neglected for a while, probably because of the fights that have been, big fights have been taking place in Manchester and lately in Liverpool. And we feel that we've got some boxers here, headed up by George at the moment, who are capable of taking London by the throat, bringing the fans along so that we can build up again big shows like it used to be years ago. Wembley is a fabulous boxing arena, a lot of history there, not far from where he lives, and in fact most of the guys are pretty local to it. It's not a big journey for them. So the objective for me as a promoter, build up London, build up big fights in London, headed up by George. I'm determined to get behind George now and really push him. You know, he had a little bit of bad luck with his injuries, but now he's back in the game. I'm going to throw the whole weight of my promotions behind him to get him a world title fight, get that world title shot in London, and that's what we're looking to do within the next 12 months. And so this is going to be the first of those big shows. So as I say, hopefully he comes through okay in the States, and that's what we'll be up to. Regarding Bill, he's now 14 fights undefeated. He needs to be pushed now. He's been nominated against Murray for the British title. That's out of purse bids. So that may be the fight on the card, I'm not sure yet, but whatever happens, he will be in a title fight. And as I was saying, regarding Frank and the rest of the guys on the undercard, it'll be about them learning their trade and coming through, and hopefully in a couple of years' time be in a position that George is in. These guys are all big ticket sellers. You know, you see Frank fight, you see Bill fight, they bring a lot of fans along. And as I say, there's a couple of other kids on there, young Mitchell Smith, they've got good following, so there's going to be good quality crowd participation. There'll be the crowd to get behind the fights, and as I say, hopefully it'll be the first of many, many big shows we'll be doing on a regular basis here in the capital. Anyway, all the guys are here. If you've got any questions to ask, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's been a frustrating year for me. I've had a few injuries and obviously haven't been as active as I wanted to be. I'm concentrating fully on my fight next weekend out in the States. It's always a challenge boxing abroad, and I'm in with a good guy, Francisco Sierra. He's a very good fighter, great record, so I can't look past him. But it's great to know that when I do beat him over here, I've got a nice big show to come start the new season off back in London. You know, being able to build a big fan base from London has always been important for me. Obviously, with the help of having a great undercard, fighters like Billy Joe and Frank on the undercard is going to help. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Exciting times ahead.
You boxed in the States before?
Yeah, I boxed out in Vegas 2 years ago. It was a great experience. You know, obviously it's very different out there. It's a different culture of boxing, so that's something that, you know, hopefully I can take experience from that time for next weekend. One thing you end up, because their main events are very early, like 8 o'clock, so you can end up ring walking at 5 or 6 in the afternoon, which is something that I'm not used to now. So yeah, you have to be prepared for anything that's thrown in front of you, and hopefully in the future I'll be having big world title fights, maybe out in the States, so it's good for me to get out there as soon as possible. No, I don't think so. You know, I've been putting in great work in the gym. I had quite a long time out after the Dig-Al fight. Came back and knocked Paul Smith out in 2 rounds. So I'm not fussed about having time out. You know, as long as I've been doing the work in the gym. I've probably had 3 back-to-back training camps, and literally as I get closer to boxing, something has cropped up. Fortunately, this time I'm fit and healthy. Hope plan to stay that way, and I can't wait to get out there and just show the improvements that I've made.
No, each time you got injured, it was right towards the end of each training camp. So, although the only thing he's missing is the ring time on a fight night, but in terms of actual training time and improvements, he's had as much as he would have done, if not more, because he sort of bounces from one straight to the other, trying to hurry up and get the fight in. So it's been frustrating for him not to be in the public eye, but it's been satisfying for me to see the improvements that he's been making, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing him actually doing his stuff for real under the spotlight.
Can you just remind us, George, what the injuries were?
Yeah, the first one I was scheduled to fight Kenny Anderson earlier in the year, and I got a back injury that I received in sparring a few weeks before the fight. We were desperately trying to get, you know, back to full health for that. Didn't run out of time, so that fight fell through. Then I was out training in Cyprus for my WBO shot against Robert Stieglitz, and got a nose injury. Ended up dislocating the cartilage in my nose, so obviously couldn't spar and couldn't fight. It was obviously an injury that, apart from sparring, I could do all the other training, so you know, I didn't suffer in that respect. I was able to keep myself fit and healthy. We tried to get the fight delayed, but it didn't work out, so I had to buy my time till next weekend. So I'm in good health. Good.
So 2 injuries?
Yeah, just 2 injuries. Yeah.
Do you feel you benefited, you know, from the fact you've got some sustained work in?
Yeah, sometimes it's good to get to have prolonged time in the gym without being in a high-profile fight where you come under scrutiny, and being able to.
Stuff in that time?
Sorry?
Have you learned new stuff in?
Yeah, I'm always learning new stuff. Yeah, week in, week out.
What's the position with Anderson, Frank? Is that out to Perspit?
It's out to Perspit.
So you're bidding at the moment?
We'll bid again for it, yeah. We may even do a deal, who knows, but whatever happens.
What's the deadline for that?
I think it's next. It's just bringing up the sellers. I think it's next week. I think sometime. I think it's, sorry, not next week. The week after, the first board meeting in August. So it'll be there. We'll know where we are. But whatever happens, you know, irrespective of whether we win it or we don't, George will fight on that date, and that's the name of the game.
Will they be opening your bids?
Well, why shouldn't I? I'm a licence holder.
Yeah.
That's where we are. I mean, you know, I was. I don't see why there would be any problem. I was down there yesterday. Spent sort of a pleasant afternoon with the board yesterday, so there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you know, we got. And I want to emphasise this. You know, I'm not trying to bring down the border control. Far from it. All I want to do is to see. I always try and do the best I can for the guys I'm involved with. And Derek Chisora was my man, and I did the best I could for him. as far as getting him into a big fight that would make him some money rather than signing on the dole. And that's where we are. But the guys here, you know, as I said from day one, I'm determined to make sure all these fellas get the best out of our organisation, and you know, Bill knows that, and certainly Frank knows that. They've signed with me, and George and Adam, I'm going to show them what we're capable of doing and deliver for them.
You were saying about putting on more shows in London. You're starting off next season at Wembley. Will you be going around different venues?
We're going in London. My son Francis and my other son George will be doing their Queensbury shows. They'll be doing. They've got, I think, 8 dates or 9 dates planned, and all of those will be in London. So there's been a lot of boxing in London, you know, and that's the name of the game. We're lucky. We're involved with a channel that is dedicated to boxing, that had a real good day at the races over the weekend. So there, as far as subscriptions are concerned, on the business plan, they're 3 times more than they 3 times better right now than the position they should be in as far as the business plan's concerned. So that's a great success story, and it means that we'll be able to put on bigger and better shows, you know. And that was always the name of the game. We're not beholden to anybody, you know. We're doing our own thing in the same way probably as that David did his own thing with Haymaker. We're doing our own thing. We're not beholden to any TV company, and it's good to be in that position because we're flexible with dates. We're not our shows are not planned around football or Formula One. Our shows are planned around what's convenient for us and the boxers. And I think, you know, in the 7 short months that the channel's been encrypted, it's been brilliant. And it's been a bit frustrating. It was very frustrating to start with. It's tough financially, very tough financially, but you know, we're getting there, and we've sort of come on in leaps and bounds, I think, over the last few months. And for these guys, it's going to be great exposure, and as I say, it enables us to push them and deliver the fights they want and the world title fights here in the UK. You know, I'm a big believer in if you can get the home advantage, and that puts us in, you know, the channel puts us in a position where we'll be able to do that, and that's great for the British fans.
You get a big hike in subscriptions
Yep,
this weekend?
very much so. As I say, it's 3 times more than we anticipated being at this stage of the game in the Box Nation business plan.
So it's enabling you really to provide a lot more work for boxers?
Yeah, more quality and more work. We're dedicated. You know, we're not having to worry about what football's on, you know, what rugby's on or cricket. You know, it is what it says on the tin. It's boxing. And we've got, you know, and our numbers now are good numbers. We've got good subscription base now. And we've got the Golden Boy shows as well. We've got all the Golden Boy shows. We've got all the Saulanders shows, who's you know, very big, probably the biggest promoter in mainland Europe. We've got many other promotions as well. We're doing Bob Arum shows. We've done Don King shows. So it's good, and we'll be hopefully dealing with other promoters as well, other British promoters.
What's your world title ambition, George? Frank said, you know, maybe in a year or so. Do you see yourself as a world champion in a year?
Yeah, that's a realistic target, definitely. If injury hadn't struck me down, I think I'd be world champion now.
I agree.
That the Robert Stieglitz fight would have been a great fight for me, and it came with conditions. One being that the winner would have to fight Arthur Abraham, who's a contender. We know he's been about for a long time. He's boxed at the highest level, so that's the caliber that I would have to be mixing with. And you know, if I can get good, meaningful fights, then I'll take them. And then when the opportunities arise, like the WBO shot did, then you know, we'll consider them, and if more than likely we'll take them. So you know, I just want to improve. I want to be busy. You know, I've had time out of the ring, so you know, getting back in the ring, get some rounds under my belt is probably the most important thing. But who knows from there? You know, I'm happy to take anything that comes along.
It's frustrating for somebody when they get injured. You know, Bill had the same thing with his hand injury, the operations on his hands, and it's really, especially when they're young guys, it is a very important part of the development in their career. It is frustrating, not just for them, it's also frustrating for the teams that work around them. But you know, touch wood, they're all okay now, and we can move forward and deliver what we said we're going to deliver, which is a big fight for them.
Is that 100% over?
Yeah. I mean, I've been up to a check-up with Mike Ayton in Manchester. Looked at it, it's all fine, ready to go.
You've been fairly active this year.
Yeah, very pleased, very pleased. Frank told me I was going to be busy, and he stuck to his word, kept me busy. Well, more than what I should have, so I think I'm one in front. So I'm very happy where I'm at the minute, and as he said, I'm mandatory for the British. So I can't ask for much more at this stage of my career.
Would you prefer British or Commonwealth title fight over any particular preference?
Do you know, it don't really matter, as long as I don't care if I'm defending my title, I'm there to defend it, but if I'm fighting for a new one, you know what I mean, it gives me the spur again. So both really, I can't really lose.
What about yourself, Frank? At your stage in career, it could be a greater fight, being underclass for a big fight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it makes it so much easier being on the undercard of Jules Groves and Billy Joe to sell tickets and get people there, and it's great to be busy as well.
Anybody owning tickets you would sell for Wembley now?
I'd say 500 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
You've been touted as a future world star. Is that a lot of pressure on you, mate?
Pardon?
You've been touted as maybe being a future world star. Is that a lot of pressure on you, Bill? How do you find dealing with that?
No, I just go day by day really. It's in the gym, hard work, and I know that as long as I put the hard work in, I know my ability to get me where I should be, and that's to the top.
Your family was been quite supportive.
Yeah, I've got a good family around me, my dad and that, he's always there, and and a good team around me, Frank and Jimmy. So, you know, I'm with the best, so I can't see why I should be mixing with the best son.
Question for Frank Leone. How do you find you've done the gym?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, the amount of experience they've both got. Mark's coming through with the enthusiasm and all the new stuff as well, scientific, with the strength and conditioning as well. It's great. It's a great position to be in. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I just want to be busy, keep fighting, and learning in the gym in between as well, which I'm doing. So.
Only a good sparring middleweight, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty so. Keep me busy.
We're selling tickets for it. Are there any other questions? Any more questions? We're all done. Thanks. Apologise again for being late, and thank you for all your support. Thank you.